Draw a connection between entitlement reform and recent budget cuts to an IT fund for the Social Security Administration, even though the cuts were approved by Democrats as well.
Back on Social Security, it's in great shape for the next many decades. Let's worry about Social Security when it's a problem. Today it's not a problem.
According to the nonpartisan budget analysts at the Congressional Budget Office, it'll be another 25 years before Social Security reserves are exhausted. Even then, income from payroll taxes will cover benefits for another 50 years. But it's also the case that last year the program paid out more than it took in. Republicans say that the fact that the program is projected to eat a larger and larger part of the GDP means the time is now to address the problem.
Harry Reid has said that Social Security does not have a problem. That would be reflecting what the illness is in Washington, and we're not backing down.
That's House Republican Majority Leader Eric Cantor at a recent speech at the Hoover Institution. Cantor tried to send a clear signal to key voters with concerns about the GOP's plans.
Just the very notion that it said that 50% of beneficiaries under the Social Security program use those monies as their sole source of income. So we got to protect today's seniors. But for the rest of us, listen, we're going to have to come to grips with the fact that these programs cannot exist if we want America to be what we want America to be.
Cantor says Republicans will unveil their plans for the 2012 budget soon, which will include entitlement program reforms. They're keeping the details quiet for now. But it's clear the GOP will have to make the first move, since the president didn't include changes to entitlements in his budget proposals, and Democrats are on the defense. That's no easy task, considering the unveiling will likely collide with the ongoing debates over the debt ceiling, the current budget, and the threat of a government shutdown. Audie Cornish, NPR News, the Capitol. You're listening to Morning Edition from NPR News.
11 minutes now before 7 o'clock, and just ahead of the California report, Joe McConnell has something for you this morning.
We're going to start with the problem for South 880 to southbound 238. It looks like the right lane is still closed. It has been since 2:30 this morning, cleaning up some oil and diesel that spilled from a big rig accident. The truck itself has been gone for a while. Traffic is starting back up worse than usual there. Also, an unusual jam on 101 North was early in San Jose. There was an injury accident near Trimble on the shoulder, and traffic backed up to Brokaw. Also, 87 northbound is slow from north of Skyport, trying to get up onto Highway 101. 29 northbound at Trank is a Napa accident, still blocks the right lane and the exit lane. Joe McConnell for KQED Radio.
Thank you, sir. His report brought to you by the 99 cents only stores. Saving the Bay, the Emmy Award-winning miniseries that showcases the importance of our greatest local natural resource, returns for the last 2 episodes. You're invited to take that final voyage from 1906 to the present, tonight, beginning at 9:30 on KQED Public Television, Channel 9. The time is now 10 before 7.
Good morning. I'm Rachel Myro, and this is the California Report. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals yesterday gave state air regulators the green light to require ocean-going vessels visiting ports here use cleaner-burning fuels when they come within 24 nautical miles of the coast. California's rules would be some of the toughest in the nation, and the shipping industry argued federal law should preempt state law. In a 45-page opinion, the judges acknowledged state regulators are attempting something, quote, expansive and even possibly unprecedented, but added that the pollution Southern California in particular faces is also unusual and unprecedented. Together, the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach take in some 40% of the nation's trade, having become the chief West Coast throughput for Asian imports headed into the American heartland. Tomorrow, staff with the California Public Utilities Commission will file motions supporting a settlement with Pacific Gas and Electric over its failure to produce pipeline records by the agency's deadline. Reporter Tara Seiler tells us a chorus of critics, including State Attorney General Kamala Harris, argue the deal is too soft.
The proposal announced last week by staff at the California Public Utilities Commission would fine PG&E up to $6 million. The utility will get 5 more months to gather records and figure out safe operating pressures for its older pipelines, meeting specific benchmarks along the way. Testifying at a public utilities hearing yesterday, PG&E Vice President Kirk Johnson called the 5-month plan doable but aggressive.
We at this point in time do not believe we can go any faster and meet the accuracy requirements that we need to ensure that our records are as accurate as possible going forward.
But does the proposed plan go far enough? That was the question raised by Public Utilities Commissioner Catherine Sandoval. She said PG&E needs to be held accountable for those pipelines for which the company already admits records don't exist.
Then the only choice is to appropriately test, investigate whether